Hey guys, Sasha here. We're about to kick off the second half of my interview with LA-based producer Kush Mody. As always, if you enjoy the content we're making here at Music, Movies, and Hoops, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And without further ado, here's more with Kush.
Did you like the new Billie Eilish single?
Yeah, it's like fine, you know. I really like Phineas. I like him as a person. I like him as a producer. I don't always like all of his music, but I really like his vibe and I really like his choices. And his whole ethos and everything. I'm a big Phineas fan. I'm a bigger Phineas fan than a Billie Eilish fan.
Yeah, man, I was spitting hate earlier. I don't want to be overly hateful. There's stuff that I really like that's current. I'm a big Tame Impala fan. I think Kevin's great.
Did you listen to the new album?
I have. I've listened to it pretty extensively. I think it's really cool. There's like a 10% of something I want that I'm not quite getting. But I'm getting a lot of fantastic production and really cool sounds and really cool like grooves. Like it's like this feels good. Kind of like I think tell me how you feel about this. I think part of what I'm hearing off that record is like he's going for like there's like such an old school Motown influence. And the songs just don't quite have the hooks that the classics did. Like, but made those songs great was they had a great groove and a great vibe, but they also had like iconic hooks.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel like the songwriting isn't as strong as Currents. I think that the whole album feels like a bunch of scraps and leftovers from Currents. For me, it falls into the category of art that I will mine but not enjoy. Yeah. I think the Slow Rush is a great album. I don't have a lot of beef with it. It's not Currents. Like Currents, I put on and it's like just a wave of pleasure, just like washing over you. You know, it just feels good, sounds good. The songwriting's amazing. The lyrics are great. Like it's just such a tight, well done thing, and it's kind of undeniable, at least in my opinion. You know, going back to that conversation analogy, it's like if someone said something, you know, really intellectual.
Yeah.
And you can be like, ooh, I learned something.
Yeah.
That's great. Versus when someone says something really beautiful and poetic and poignant, that's like, that is just poetry and I could just listen to that like forever, you know?
It's like when I give my speech, I'm going to quote this because it's going to bring credibility to my argument, but I'm not going to close with it because it's not my emotional climax.
Bingo. That's great. That's a great way to put it. Yes.
So this is the way I hear you talk about Jacob Collier, right?
Yeah.
Jacob Collier is such a unique case because he's this meteoric talent. I don't know that many people who are like, yeah, today I just listened to Jacob Collier all day. I was just vibing on that. It's a lot of like musicians like watching his Logic breakdowns of his song and like figuring out how he's doing his microtonal harmonies, you know? What's your takeaway on that?
I love that he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I would say that. In terms of like, am I listening to it recreationally? No. Am I looking to Jacob Collier for emotional guidance? No.
Right.
Am I looking for technical guidance? Yes.
When I listen to Jacob Collier's music, what I hear is somebody that's to go back to your triangle analogy, which I love, and I'm glad it's been a through line in this conversation today. What I hear is somebody who's so goddamn afraid of being at the bottom that he has left the triangle. He's not even at the top of it. He's like ahead of it or off to the side. And for all of us in the triangle, we all go, damn, Jacob Collier got out of the triangle. That's freaking cool. How did he get, and you want to understand how he got there. But at the end of the day, for me, who's sitting in the back half of it with a couple beers and an open picnic table, I'm saying, dude, you're on the other side of the freaking river. Like, I'm just trying to have some beers and enjoy some music. And he seems so far away from that.
Right. How do you feel about it? Like, does any of it resonate with you? Is it all just?
I want him to go back a couple years. I think that what hit me the hardest. Okay, so and we're not even gonna get to this on this conversation today. We're gonna have you back, and we'll talk about this too. Both of us love neo soul music, love R&B. I would say for both of us, there's no one we respect more than D'Angelo, Chris Dave, and I think that what's a through line with a lot of our music and a lot of our inspiration is bringing in some of those sounds and rhythms that we love into other spaces.
Right.
That I love a D'Angelo groove. I love a Beatles song. Can I blend those? And I hear you do that on your music all the time, and I love it. Jacob Collier was tapping into that. And he is clear that he has the same inspirations as us.
When you catch moments of calm with him,
Yes.
You get some truly like, ooh, that's beautiful. He's just so ADD and impatient, and at least relative to my personal threshold, I think that he could be a little more economical with his ideas and not feel like he needs to throw in new shit every 4 bars, you know what I mean? Change something.
Yes.
My personal rule is just like, it doesn't take much to keep things interesting.
Yes.
I think that's a maturity thing. I don't know. I hate to play the age card, but I have a feeling, I'm sure he's going to hit a point where he's just like, flexing isn't fun anymore. I just want to make a really good song. I just want to write a really fucking good song.
Yes.
Either that or he'll just keep fucking going.
So I wrote my first film score in college. And when I started it, I was totally overwhelmed. I'd never done this before. And one of the first things I did was meet with my mentor, who was a music theory professor, Arnie Cox. Shout out. And his advice to me, he really didn't help me that much, but he gave me great advice that has stuck with me my whole life. He said, Sasha, you get to do one weird thing. And that's your thing. If you're going to use Ponticello, then the song should be diatonic. If the song's going to be in 5/4, then you should use simple chords. I listen to Jacob Collier, I hear 20 things that could be the thing, but I don't know what the thing is.
I 100% agree. I have the same rule. I have the same guiding principle, whether it's a film score or a pop song or whatever. In any art that I do, I have the same exact guiding kind of thesis, which is, like I'm very clear on like, this is the thing, and everything else is supporting that thing.
Yes.
And the human ear, it doesn't take much for the human ear to like perk up and be like, ooh, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, you can just have a simple rhythm, and then as soon as you change it a little bit, your ear goes, huh? What was that? Like our ears are so fine-tuned for changes, for differences. So like, if something's been the same for a while, just changing one thing is like,
To kind of wrap this thing up, it's been a great conversation. We could do a whole podcast on like 7 of the things we just hit on, and I want to. I wanted to get the listeners engaged and introduce this idea when I had you. For what? At this point, 6-7 years, we have had an idea for a show, a comedy sketch show. It could be online, it could be short episodes, it could be a 30-minute thing. We don't know exactly, but we are interested and fascinated with this idea of the regular working musician, right? We have seen Bohemian Rhapsody, we have seen Ray, we have seen Walk the Line, hell, we've seen Walk Hard. And those are all great stories, but for each Ray Charles, there's thousands of people like us who wake up and make a middle-class income to be a musician. And it is pretty insane, pretty hijink-filled, like pretty surreal. All the musicians out there would watch this and go, yes, finally. And for the non-musicians, I think we can kind of pull back the curtain on a lifestyle and a realness that they haven't seen and is going to feel real because it's going to like connect to their life, but in an industry they didn't think was like their life.
Maybe because there's a curtain veiled, so people don't, it's not in, there's not things that are just kind of in the common knowledge that like people can like reference, like everyone knows how sports work,
Right.
So like, it's not really a mystery,
Mm-hmm.
And so the lingo that athletes use is kind of common lingo that everyday people use as well.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel as like, any sort of joke or analogy or metaphor that you make in the sports world, it's kind of applicable elsewhere. People kind of know about it because it's, so common knowledge. But like the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis are just so specific to us that, there's a lot of room for like niche comedy in a way that like, but like you said, not in an alienating way, but in a like, come look at how weird and interesting this belly, this like underbelly is here, that you didn't even know about,
It's absurd to be a musician.
Yeah.
I think there's a cool thing that we have an opportunity to do with this site where we can both kind of unveil the show and in real time in a way that's like accessible and like coming to the staff meeting, like share with people how we're trying to figure out how to unveil the show.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
I wanted to close today on a fun note. We love laughing. We love having fun. You said we have all these gags that are from real life. So I thought it'd be fun to end with us each sharing one gag that we want to feature in the show and give just a little teaser and taste for everybody of the kind of vibe of our story.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I do. I have a ton of them. I want to know which one you're going to tell so we don't say the same one.
So I can't help myself. I have two.
Of course.
I can't help it. I have two. One's just a funny moment and one is a story. Yeah. So I'm going to go first because you can tell two if you want to, but I'm going to try and sandwich. I want you to be a sandwich of mine.
No worries. Do your thing.
So one of them, and I think this came out of like one of us were playing a gig and the drummer just like kept seeming to have gear. Like I thought the drum set was set up and then like another floor tom showed up and then he's like has like a China cymbal. And I'm like, dude, we're playing at like a second floor bar for like 10 people for like a total of $150. And I think a big thing we want to do with the show, Kush, is extrapolate on these real stories and kind of embellish. And this idea of the ever-growing drum set.
Right.
That, like, you get the kit, it's like a 4-piece kit. And then, like, for some reason, he has an extra cymbal. But then this kind of idea of, like, the camera is on the guitar player. So you're not seeing him, the drummer, walk in with gear. So it's on the guitar player. And then when the camera pans, suddenly there's a double kick.
And, like, every time, it's like, for some reason, the rest of the band is just kind of like putting up with it. And so like on the stage, the lead singer and the guitar player, they're all just like, they're like pressed off to the side, just kind of like dealing with this ever expanding drum set that's like taking up more of the stage. And just the resignation of just like, all right, I guess this is how we have to do things. Yeah.
And then I think like the way we can put it over the top is like eventually they're like, all right, for the next 5 songs we're gonna do acoustic. It's like this huge kit. The bass player's like sitting on a tom, and whereas the drummer's not even needed.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's good.
All right, man. What's one of yours?
So this one, I have to shout out my buddy Ian for.
Huge.
When he was in high school, he was in a band. He was a drummer, and they wanted to record an album, and so they found a studio. It was
this
really
is one of my
nice.
favorites. This is like episode 1 shit.
They find a really nice studio.
Yeah.
fancy console, all this outboard gear, really nice mics, all this shit. They're like, yeah, this place is dope. The engineer rolls in carrying his own personal iMac and just puts it on the console and pulls out an M box.
And hold on one sec. If you don't know, an M box is literally like bringing this. This is what I'm using for this interview. It's a Focusrite 2-channel interface,
but shittier.
Yeah.
Shittier than.
Imagine, this is all I have for this interview. Imagine going to a recording studio and a guy has brought this in a backpack.
Ian's like, wait, what? Like, what about all the nice gear? Like, what about all the console? It's like, and the engineer's just like, yeah, I don't know how to use most of this stuff. This way is actually better. So Ian's like, all right. Ian's like, fuck this. Everyone in the band each pays $900, and
each.
Ian's like, nah, I'm not each. Yeah. And Ian's like, yeah, no, I'm not paying that to record drums with 2 inputs. So Ian bounces. He's like, yeah, I'm at the record without me. So some time passes. He's hanging out with the lead singer.
Yeah.
They're in the car.
Yeah.
They're in the car, and lead singer is like, yo, we finished the record, and he puts it on.
Yeah.
And the singer goes, see, it doesn't sound bad. Ian goes, yeah, but it doesn't sound good. And the singer's just like, I know. Just like a resign, just like, hey, I just love, it's like, it's not bad. It's like, it's not good. Like,
I thought it was it's not great. I thought it was like, see, man, it doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, but it doesn't sound great. I know.
I know.
And for the show, we need to get the nicest studio we can.
Totally. One more.
Yeah.
The ultimate pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is based on a true story.
Yes. So I was playing a festival, and when you're at a festival, you get these artist passes. That's one of the perks of playing at festivals. You get to go, once your set is over, just like enjoy the rest of the festival and
totally
go backstage and like just kind of be free. And it's great. But the thing is, so we're playing this festival. Our set's at like 4 p.m. or whatever. So like we're done. Then we're just enjoying the rest of the festival.
Yeah.
Muse is the headline.
Yeah.
The headliner. And so I'm like, oh great, this is great. I'm gonna, I can be like on stage, like on the side of the stage, watch Muse. Like this is gonna be amazing. And like my artist pass got me on all the other stages, so like it shouldn't have been a problem. So I go up to the side, and they're like, sorry, your artist pass isn't good here. You need the ultimate pass. It's just like,
yeah, I played this festival.
What?
How could I be more legit?
Yeah. No, it's like you need the God pass. It's like, the hell. Anyway, all right. I want to hear what your stories are.
All right, well, Andy, we're just going to end on a funny note. This isn't even a music story. This just happened to us. We spent years working at the Deerfield Academy Summer Arts Camp. Another person who worked there is Melissa McClung, who I recently interviewed, our dear friend. I'm going to bring up a lot of characters from that world because all amazing artists, wonderful people. And this is just a funny moment that we just want to tie in somehow. But for staff training, we're taken to MassMoCA, which is the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art, North Adams. We all ship out there. It's like a bonding experience before the campers come, the whole staff, the director's pushing it. We all go, listen, I'm all for visual art. I get it. I love it. I love photography.
I know where this one's going.
But when I say I get it, the truth is I don't really get it. I don't know I know what I like, but in the way that I can tell you like what's a great song and what's a good song for reasons that I can explain, I can't tell you why something's good or not good in with art. I don't know. So I turned to one of our friends and the freaking painting counselor, Katie Sussman, who's a wonderful visual artist. And I say, Katie, Tell me what's sweet. Tell me what's sweet when we get there, because I don't know how to know what's sweet. So we get there, you and I are hanging out, we're walking through, everyone spreads out, fans out, has a great time. We're walking through, me and Katie get separated. I'm like looking at like a sculpture, and she's in like a back room. There's like a small room with like a velvet curtain. And from behind the curtain, we start hearing like sex sounds, like women moaning and like and all this stuff, and we're looking at like, what the hell is going on? It turns out it was a video, I believe, of women who are enjoying a vibrator, but the camera's on their face. They're like sitting, vibrator is going, and it's just their face. So it's not porn, but it's, you know,
they were reading excerpts from a book while being pleasured under the table. So like all you saw, you know, they were just kind of like proper. It was like a you
and
know,
they have a shirt
very,
on.
Yeah. It wasn't pornographic at all. It was just basically like just a table read. They were just kind of like, you know, elegantly reading from a book. It was very like poised and very pretty. But then like they would break down into like pure pleasure, you know, just like and yeah.
So we're like looking at this art. We're not in the room. We haven't seen this. We're looking at the art. We're hearing these sounds. We're like, what the hell's happening? And I just remember from like 30 feet away, Katie yells, "Sasha!" And we both turn, and I'm sure it wasn't like this, but in my mind, she was totally horizontal. And she's a small person, so this little Katie Sussman head pulls across the curtain, and this head comes out sideways, and all I hear is, "Sasha, this is sweet."
So good. That's so good. I love that story. Just like, yeah. Just like, Sasha, this is sweet. Just like, oh God.
All right, Kush, there's a million more things to talk about. Please be a huge part of musicmoviesandhoops.com. It's an exciting thing. I'm bringing some contributing writers. I want to work with you. I want to share your music. I want to share the show. Please come back. But for today, thank you for sharing your time. It's been a really insightful, wonderful conversation. Kush Mody, everybody, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.